So I'm still off my meds. I think that's kind of where I left off. I left off talking about being off my medication and how that was. Um, it's funny because I didn't realize, I always forget like how long these depressive episodes last until I like look back at an old video or an old post or read my journal and I'm like still kind of ruminating on the same thoughts. And I'm like, damn, you've been in this like hole for a while now. And because like lately I've definitely, let me backtrack a little bit. It's hard for me to tell, like, I think the reason it's kind of, I forget sometimes that I was depressed or was like in a funk is because it's so often there. I've talked about this before. I have dysthymia. It's just kind of like always there. But yeah, but lately it has been like noticeably bad because I think, yeah, too, like with high functioning depression, you do get those episodes where you're like, okay, like I'm really in the trenches right now. And this past week was definitely one of those times, past like 2 weeks, I'd say. Just because like for the first time in, probably not ever, but at least in recent memory, I like was struggling to get stuff done, couldn't get a full meal in. It's not really like situational for me. It's just like there's something not right in my brain where I don't maybe feel the good emotions as much as I should be feeling them. But I had this epiphany last week. I think my cat's gonna go take a shit in the litter box. Pay no mind to her. Yeah, it's funny because she'll like make eye contact with me and it feels so awkward. And I know it's an animal, so it's like, how are you having awkward eye contact with a pet? Like, I don't know. Yeah. Do your thing, queen. All right, anyways. So I had this epiphany, weirdly, when I was at work of all places. And I was like, I really don't want, because okay, let me backtrack a little bit. Did you even go? Why'd you do that? Also, when did she get there? I did not see her. Okay, it's fine. Yeah, I struggle with like suicidal ideation a lot. I think less as I've gotten older, which is a good thing. But it's still something that's kind of like on my mind a lot. Like it's something I think about like really casually, which I don't like. Like I wish that wasn't even like an option in my head. And I don't think I'm at like risk for suicide. Let me put that out there. But I think like when you're dealing with depression for a really long time, and especially I think when it starts when you're young, it's kind of like something that I became desensitized. I guess that's the word that I'm looking for, too. And that's not a great thing because, yeah, I just don't think dwelling on that is a good place to be ever. But when I was at work, I had this epiphany, which was kind of like the first time I ever really felt this way. But I realized that like I really didn't, like I don't want to die. Like I really want to live so badly. There's so many things that I know I can enjoy and I know I have enjoyed in the past. And there's so much to life, and I think that life has so much beauty, but yeah, sometimes you just have like such a heaviness in your chest, and it literally just makes functioning hard. It makes existing hard. It is like the only relief you have sometimes is sleep, or when you're just kind of like mindlessly trying to fill that void in your head, whether it's scrolling through social media or just like putting on TV shows. I just feel like, yeah, I do that a lot. Like I just surround myself with noise. But yeah, I just realized that I really didn't want to die. I really wanted to live really badly. It was just a matter of like, or it is just a matter of not wanting to feel that heaviness in my chest anymore. And I know that's not a new idea, but it was definitely like a new thing for me. Because I think, yeah, the way my brain was in the past, like when I was younger, I was like, if I died, like, all gone. Like, don't have to deal with it. And that's like horrible. And I hate to talk about death and suicide so casually, but like that's just kind of your mindset when you're depressed so often. Like, it just becomes a very casual thing. And again, that's not good, but that's just kind of how it is. But yeah, that was kind of like a nice big step for me. And it weirdly made me feel, well, not weirdly, but like it did make me feel better and more hopeful. And it was like a sign of growth. And I've talked about this before too, but like healing isn't linear. It's not like this, it's like that. And so that was one of my moments where, even though I definitely am in like a pretty, at least more severe depressive episode than I have been in the past, it was like, oh, I have been growing. Like, even though I feel like shit right now, like, that's new for me. So that was cool. And I've been trying to do like a little bit better every day, like making to-do lists. For some reason, like, that makes me go absolutely feral, like in a good way. Like, I feel so good when I have a to-do list and I cross something off. And like I said, I went out with friends and I'm glad I did that. And there's other stuff, but I don't really know.